Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Welcome to Communications. I'm really looking forward to teaching this class with you guys, and it's one class that I really enjoy. I teach a few different classes with the organization, but I've always enjoyed teaching the surgical team communications, how to communicate effectively. It's something that we all can do better. Every time I teach this class, learn something new, actually learn something from all the students that I've taught over the period of years that I've been with the organization, and it's been a lot of fun. So I really enjoyed teaching this class, and I think you're going to get a lot out of it as well. Some of the goals that we have in this class are, of course, how to communicate effectively in the workplace, and also how to communicate effectively in your own personal life. Communication is a tool that you can take wherever you go and whatever you do. It doesn't matter what field you're in. Better communication always leads to more success and, of course, patient success and patient well-being. If we communicate with our patients in a way that's positive, with positive intent, you're really going to go far, especially in a healthcare career. I've been in healthcare for an extended period of time. I'm going to give an overview about myself really quickly, but before I do that, I'm going to show you where I'm going in this course and give you a little bit of a course overview. So this is an online class, which is really great because it has due dates throughout the week, and we'll talk more about that here in a bit. But an online class, you have videos that you can pause, restart, so that it's not like a standard face-to-face lecture. So you're going to have due dates and things you have to do throughout the week in order to get credit for the class, in order to get a good grade. But I really like the fact that it's online because the lectures are pre-recorded and you could take a listen to them, pause them, and really work through things as time goes on. I know you're juggling a lot of things in your program right now, so this class is meant to help you juggle things. And maybe you want to work on this class at night. That's totally fine, but you just have to adhere to the due dates, and we'll talk about that more as time goes on. All right, I'm going to tell you where I'm going in the class because I want to give an overview about myself really quickly because I think that's important. And we have a lot to get to in the next probably 10 to 15 minutes. I will say there will be another check-in video as well, so we're going to only scratch the surface here because week one is an extended week. So you have a little more time for week one, so you're not going to have a lot due for the first few days of class because I really want you to orient yourself to an online course. So I'm going to show you where I'm going, so I'm going to have to pause the video, move the screen around a little bit, and show you where I'm clicking. 1 second. To draw a little bit here, I think I'm going to use a highlighter. Hopefully you can see this. So you have a couple of different sections. We're on the announcement section right now. You'll actually see the video above this. You're not going to see it right now because I'm recording it as we speak, but as you watch it, you'll be able to see it right there. The course syllabus has got all the information like the course schedule, the course syllabus, all the guidelines for the course, which we'll take a look at here in a bit. It's located there. The bulk of the content of this course will be located in the course content. Pretty ironic, right? Course content, bulk of the course. So information will be located there. Resource sections, that's going to have your Flat World textbook and your how to get the Flat World textbook online. So cool thing about this class, there's an online textbook. It's standard across the organization, and you can actually access the textbook online, read it online. Maybe you want to read it on your phone. There's a feature which I think is really cool to have an audiobook that's available too. Tools are really Blackboard tools like IT and such. I'm not going to click on that, but you can explore that. It has the library there as well. Also, the library is located down here. We're not going to deal with that at the beginning of the class, but as we get into writing, we'll talk more about how to use the library for your perspective there. Help Desk, of course, is another IT tool. If you have issues with Blackboard, Help Desk is where you go in order to get, of course, help on your computer, or maybe Blackboard's glitching for you. I'm not sure. I'm not an IT expert, but we always use them. Of course, Pima has a lot of great IT experts that can help walk you through challenges that you might have on the IT sphere. All right, so your email is pretty clear where you access your email, how to communicate with students and fellow professors or educators for that matter. So I'm going to click on the instructor section and you'll see a little bit about me. 1 second. This is a really old photo. I'm not this young anymore. I actually look a little bit older than that. I got to get a new headshot. But that was actually taken when I started my job at Swedish in Seattle. I am now working for the same organization, of course, Providence Swedish, but in the Olympia area, and I have oversight of our ambulatory clinic settings. and some footprint in the hospital too. That expanded my role here recently, but I've been in healthcare for an extended period of time. I work really closely, as surgical techs going through your education. I work really closely with surgical techs on the hospital side. I have cardiology services and vascular surgery and a lot of different um, specialties that I oversee currently. They all have really great techs that work with them, and they wouldn't be able to do what they do on a daily basis without amazing techs. So I really enjoy teaching you guys, and I think you're going to make a huge impact in your career as time goes on. So you're probably thinking, hey, why do you teach? You have a healthcare background. You're probably busy doing healthcare things. My passion is teaching. I've been in school for an extended period of time. I've been in the doctorate program that I'm in for about 5 years now. I'm in my dissertation process, only 2 classes left. My dissertation is on critical access hospitals, small hospital settings, so rural healthcare. So I'm almost done with that. I'll be finished in actually 2026. I need to update that right there. But 2 classes left with that, and I'll be all done, and my education will be, where I wanted it. So eventually, I'll want to be a full-time educator, but currently part-time, and I'm really enjoying doing that because it's a lot of fun working with you guys. All right, I have a family, of course. A little bit of personal information about me. I have a family. We travel quite a bit down to where I'm from in Alabama to watch, of course, football games this time of year, or basketball when we talk about more than spring. But I really enjoy, doing the everyday things like going on hikes and focusing on family. So I really appreciate you guys learning a little bit about me. I'm always open, so if you ever need anything, you can reach out to me anytime. I think that's important, especially in an online class for your success. So whatever I can do to help you, that's what I'm here for, and I really want you to reach out. Don't hesitate if you want to email me or if you want to call me at any time, and we'll set up a time to talk. And I usually, in the moment, can talk through things. So let's navigate the course again. I'm going to go back to the left side. I'm going to pause. The screen will change, and we'll be back at it. Said we're going to click on the course syllabus on the left side and go there. I'll see you on the other side. A lot of really important things here. Your syllabus, the PPS form, because PPS is a big part of every class that you're in at PEMA, right? Your schedule, which is very important, subject to change, and I'll put when it's changed on there. Very basic things might change, but that's going to be important. The lesson plan is in here, which is super important as well, and the surgical technology student handbook. Not going to open up the schedule for this video. I will in the next one, but I'm going to open up the syllabus real quick and we'll talk through some things. Just a lot of the basic information you've seen on some syllabuses, and using plural there when I shouldn't. But from that perspective, this is an online course, 3 credit hours. There's a lot of information that you need to put into this class in order to be successful. A lot of time is what I meant. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. So you can read through the ins and outs of being successful in this class, and it's going to take a lot of time commitment. But the basic thing that I remind students, if you submit your work on time and really try, you're going to do a good job. So part of that is making sure that you read the textbook and watch the lectures each week. You can't bypass that because you're really going to struggle in the exams. I'm going to scroll down here to some of the course requirements. When I say be in attendance, that means you're going to get your work done on time. You have to get your work done on time in order to be successful in an online class. Participate, that's getting your work done because you're going to have participation in your discussion board posts, which we'll talk about here in a little while. Work productively in individual activities because there's not really any group activities, but make sure you get your stuff done in an effective way and it makes sense based on what we learned in that week. Get to pass each skill with basic stuff that we talk about from a week-to-week basis. And, of course, achieve a minimum of 77%. How do you do that? How do you achieve 77%? Well, we got a few things. We have an APA presentation that's going to be 25% of our grade, which we'll talk about more in the future. Homework, we have 10 things of homework, which is 2% each. That'll come up in your course module not each week, but most weeks we'll have a homework section, which is based on the flat world text. It's straight from the textbook. PPS is 15%, so actively participating, getting your stuff done on time, reaching out when you have questions, all that kind of great stuff is going to be important from a PPS perspective. Discussion boards, we have 10 of those as well. They're not every week, but they're most weeks, and they're 1% each. And then your final exam. So we don't have a midterm in this class. We do have a final exam. It's worth a lot of your grade, 30%. But I usually have a lot of success with students who try really hard throughout the semester. They usually get a good grade in their final exam. All right, I'm going to exit this and show you where I'm going next. This video, like I said, we'll talk about the course schedule, which will be important. The one thing I want to highlight, though, for this week is it's an extended week. So your due dates are not going to be till next week because the class starts on a Thursday. It'll be really, really difficult from that perspective to get your work done in a few days because classes start from the perspective of an online class on Monday and on Sunday. So we're going to have an extended week for the first week. Since the class starts on the 6th, your work is not going to actually start, or it's not going to be due until next week. So into next week is going to be, of course, the 16th. Then the new module will start on the 17th, or the new week will start on the 17th. So let's take a look at the course schedule, the course content real quick, and I'm going to show you where I'm going there. Okay, I'm going to highlight. Here's where we're going. Well, I got to click the highlighter here in real time. Course content. That's our next section. Again, extended week. So that's why I'm not as panicked about jumping into the course schedule, because we have a little more time to have overview and for you to familiarize yourself with the class. So take a look at the course schedule, but I'll, in the next few days, do another check-in video. But I don't want to overwhelm you. That's why we're just doing it a little bit at a time, because that's important. Because it's confusing at first, but it'll take time, and that's what this first week is for, to help orient you. All right, I'm going to head over. What you're going to see will be a little bit different. The first thing that you'll see, and there's a lot of information here, you're probably a little overwhelmed, but since it's an online class, I have to make sure that you're aware. I do have office hours, and those are usually during the times of the class, so Tuesday and Thursday, 1 to 2 or 1 to 3. And if you need me, I'm available at that time. It is not required to meet with me during your class time. You can jump into your class, and my recommendation is during that time, jump into your class and get some work done, and really read the textbook, watch the lectures. That's what I would do during class time because it's blocked off for you. But if you want to talk during that time, I'm available. Reach out to me. But maybe you want to talk a different time. I'm happy to work around your schedule. Just let me know, and I'll send you the Zoom link. But it is not required each Tuesday and Thursday. It is an optional thing for you since this is an online class. But I want to make sure that I'm available if you need me. We can walk through anything that you're having trouble with at that given period of time. I'm always available for you. So this is just another reminder of that. Don't worry about the research paper and rubric instructions. More to come regarding that in the future, probably in the next 4 or 5 weeks. So don't stress about that, but you can open it and take a look when you get a chance, if you want. We do discussion boards, right? This is a grading rubric for our discussion boards. I'm not going to pull that open right now because we have a little time in this week to orient ourselves, but I'm going to open week 1, effective communication introduction, where the majority of the course content for the week is. So this is where you'll see the lecture each week, and let me get my highlighter out again. So the lecture is going to be located here, usually at the top of the page. So watch that. I try to keep them 15 minutes or less because studies show after 15 minutes people start to zone out. And the fact that you can pause and review it again, I think is going to be helpful for a lecture. All right. So we always have supplemental videos as well. Take a look at those when you get a chance. I'm going to have information and access, of course, to the Flat World text. Read the chapter. It's only chapter 1 for this extended week. And then, of course, your PowerPoint slides, which are associated with the lecture here, are always going to be located in the module. Not a ton this week because we're orienting ourselves. And like I said, homework's not going to be due until the 16th, so we're not going to stress about that right now. Our goal is to orient ourselves to the class. In your discussion board posts, which we'll talk about in the next video, the discussion board is just an overview of the course. It's not going to be due until the 12th of November and Sunday the 16th. So the fact of the matter is we have 2 videos, 2 check-in videos. I do this every week for you guys because it's an extended week. Don't stress about that. Just orient yourself to the class. Don't worry about your homework. Don't worry about your discussion board post right now. Orient to the course content, orient to the class, the syllabus, read over everything. And once you get that done, then I'll, of course, post in the next few days another video for you guys to have a bigger overview about what's due and what's coming up in the class. So we'll talk about the course schedule at that time too. This is your first overview. Don't stress. Get to know the class. It'll be great working with you. I appreciate all of you. Let me know if you need anything, and I'll talk to you next few days.